When Chuka finished university, he went to do his NYSC, youth service, in another state. He lived in the Corpor's Lodge with other young people from poor families. But Chuka did not show off. Even though he had a big car and plenty of money, he shared everything. He bought food for others. He paid school fees. He gave out clothes and gifts. His two best friends in the lodge were Toby and Fred. They laughed with him, ate with him, and acted like they loved him. But deep inside, they were jealous. Why does everyone like Chuka? Toby would whisper to Fred. Why does every girl want him? It's not fair, Fred would reply. But Chuka didn't know. He believed they were his real friends. Chuka turned 25. He planned a small birthday with drinks and food for his friends in the lodge. Everyone was happy and singing for him. But Fred and Toby had made a bad plan. That night, when everyone had gone home, they told Chuka to follow them to the river behind the lodge. Let's take birthday pictures near the water, they said. Chuka trusted them. But when they got there, they pushed him inside the deep river. He screamed and begged, but they watched him drown. They took his car keys, phone, money, and went back to the lodge. They cried fake tears. Chuka is missing. They told everyone. They called his family and lied. When his parents heard the news, his mother fainted. His father had a heart attack, but he lived. Their hearts broke into many pieces. No one found Chuka's body. His friends said he must have drowned, but nobody ever found his body. His uncles, who were jealous of his father's riches, were secretly happy. They danced in their hearts. Now the riches can be ours, they said in whispers. Chuka's spirit could not rest. He saw how his parents cried every night. He saw how his uncles were planning to take over his father's company. He felt very sad, so he made a promise. I will make my parents smile again. One night, he left the graveyard and walked far away to another town where nobody knew him. Something strange happened. In that town, his ghost body became human again. He had flesh. He could eat and laugh. But he couldn't sleep. He had no shadow. He was not fully alive. He bought a small house. He got a job at a private company. And every evening, he ate at a roadside restaurant where a beautiful girl worked. Her name was Ada. Every day, Chuka would visit the small restaurant after work. The food was simple but tasty. The lady who worked there was Ada. She was young, beautiful, and very kind. Ada worked hard, but her boss was not nice. The boss shouted at Ada and made her do many chores. But Ada never complained. She smiled and stayed strong. One day, Chuka helped Ada when the boss was being mean. Ada was surprised and happy. They started to talk and became friends. Chuka liked Ada's kind heart and her beautiful smile. Ada liked Chuka because he was humble and gentle. Chuka and Ada spent many days together. They talked about their dreams and their hopes. Ada wanted to go to university to study law. Chuka promised to help her. They laughed, shared stories, and helped each other. Slowly, their friendship became love. After some months, Chuka asked Ada to marry him. Ada said, yes, happily. They had a small wedding with few friends. Chuka gave Ada gifts and promised to take care of her forever. Ada and Chuka lived in their little house. Chuka worked hard at his job. Ada studied very well. Soon, Ada became pregnant. She gave birth to twins, a boy and a girl. They named the boy Chinadu and the girl Chika. The family was very happy. Chuka loved his children and Ada. But Ada felt worried. Chuka never spoke about his parents or his family. When she asked, he would smile and change the topic. Ada wanted to meet Chuka's parents, but he always said, not yet, soon. After many months, Chuka said, Ada, it is time to meet my parents. Let us take the children to the village. Ada was excited but also nervous. She wanted to meet the family and know more about Chuka's past. One bright morning, they packed their bags and started the journey to the village. Chuka drove the car slowly as they neared the big compound where his parents lived. When they reached the village, Chuka stopped the car some distance from the big gate. He looked at the house and said, Ada, you go with the children inside. I forgot to buy my mother's favorite bread from the market. I will come soon. Ada felt puzzled but trusted Chuka. She held the twins tightly and walked to the gate. At the gate stood a man and a woman, Chuka's father and mother. They looked at Ada and the children with confused eyes. Who are you? The mother asked softly. Ada said, my name is Ada. I am your son's wife, and these are your grandchildren. The parents did not believe Ada. They whispered to each other, looking at her with doubt. We have not seen our son for many years, the father said sadly. Ada showed them pictures on her phone. Photos of Chuka, their wedding, and the children. Please, believe me, Ada said with tears in her eyes. He told me he would come soon. He just stepped out to get something. They agreed to wait. The sun went down, the sky grew dark, but Chuka did not return. Ada and Chuka's parents sat quietly in the dark. The moon shone softly, but no one spoke. Ada's heart was heavy, filled with worry and fear. She hoped Chuka would come back, but the night grew deeper and colder. The next morning, Chuka's mother wiped tears from her eyes. Her voice was soft but strong. "My daughter," she said, "our son died 9 years ago. On his 25th birthday." Ada gasped. Her hands trembled. Tears poured down her cheeks like rain. She cried and cried, feeling a pain she had never known. Suddenly, little Chinadu handed Ada a small letter. "Father gave me this," he said softly. "He said I should give it to you today." Ada took the letter with shaking hands. She opened it slowly. Inside, Chuka wrote about his death, how his friends betrayed him and took his life. He wrote of his deep love for his parents and Ada. He apologized for the pain he caused and asked Ada to live happily. The letter. "My dearest Ada, if you are reading this letter, it means I am not with you as I promised. I am so sorry for the pain this brings to your heart. I never wanted to leave you or our precious children alone. I was betrayed by those I called friends. They were jealous of me and took my life on my 25th birthday. I did not expect such cruelty from people I trusted. But even in death, my love for you and our children remains strong. Please forgive me for not being there to protect you or hold your hand through the hard times. I am watching over you, even if you cannot see me. Ada, you are strong and kind. I want you to live fully and find happiness again. If your heart ever wishes to love another, do not feel guilty. You deserve joy and peace. But I ask one thing, please leave our children with my parents. They are family, and they will care for them with all their hearts. Our children are the future, and their lives must be full of love and security. Know that I love you all beyond words. I carry you in my soul forever. With all my heart, your Chuka." News spread quickly around the village. Chuka has children. He had a wife, but he died 9 years ago. People came to the house to see Ada and the twins. Some believed, some did not. Chuka's father's brothers were not happy. They had hoped Chuka was gone forever so they could take all his father's wealth. Now they were angry and afraid. "This woman must be lying," one uncle said. "Let's do a DNA test to know if the children are really his." Ada agreed. She was calm and full of truth. The test was done. The result came back. The twins were truly Chuka's children. When Chuka's parents saw the test result, they cried tears of joy. "These are our grandchildren. Thank you, God." But Ada was not finished. She was a trained lawyer. She wiped her tears and said, "Now, we must find justice for Chuka." With the help of Chuka's old friends who still remembered what happened that night, Ada and Chuka's parents reopened the case. Police searched again. They found old messages and voice notes from Fred and Toby. The truth came out. Fred and Toby were arrested. They cried, but it was too late. The news went across the whole country. Man's spirit returns to reveal the truth 9 years after his death. People were shocked. Newspapers, TV stations, and radio shows talked about Chuka and Ada. Chuka's name was cleared. His parents held a memorial and danced with joy. Chuka's father could no longer manage the big company. He was tired and old. His brothers, who once wanted the company, were now silent. Ada was wise and kind. She was made the acting CEO of the company until Chuka's son, Chinadu, would grow up. She led with honesty. She helped the workers. She brought new ideas. Chuka's parents moved in with Ada and the twins. They were no longer sad. They laughed again. They told stories. They watched the twins grow. Chuka's mother said one night, "My son may be gone, but God gave him back to us in a beautiful way." Chuka's father held her hand and smiled. Years passed, and the family grew strong and happy. Chinadu and Chika became bright, kind children loved by everyone. Ada worked hard, raising the children with love and teaching them about their father's courage and kindness. Chuka's parents enjoyed their days with their grandchildren. They smiled more and their hearts felt full again. Chuka's father grew older but was peaceful. He thanked Ada for taking care of the family and the company. His mother spent her days cooking and telling stories about Chuka, the good boy who never forgot his family. The village saw how the family had healed. The sadness from years ago slowly disappeared. One quiet evening, Ada sat with Chuka's parents by the fire. "We will tell Chuka's story to our children," she said softly. So they remember how strong love is, even after death. Chuka's mother nodded. He may have left this world, but his love stays with us forever. The children listened, eyes wide with wonder. The story of the woman who married a ghost was told for many years, teaching everyone about faith, courage, and the power of family. And so, the family lived happily, holding